Filipina who has traveled and has jet lag. So she asked me, hello? And so I decided to show also that I knew. Hello! Sabi ko naman gano'n. And she says, it says here, you're a Filipina. And I go, oh, yes I am. It says here that you're a singer. And sabi ko, oh, yes I am. And then she asked me, would you like to sing here? And I go, where? And she said, here. And she wanted me to sing in the immigration line. And so, you know, with jet lag, and I drank all the free alcohol in the plane, I said to her a nasty Tagalog word, it's not a curse word, we are in a cultural event, but I said to her, ulul. English accent. Music please. Umiikot sa isip ko, ng dami mamalagay, lumilip parang puso ko, sa awan ng aking tanay. Umiikot sa isip ko, ng dami mamalagay, lumilip parang ang puso ko, sa awan ng aking tanay.
50th anniversary, the Pearl Year. We are here to welcome you to celebrate with us. I would also like to thank you. I'd especially like to acknowledge and thank our partner, Jewelmer, and the Chief Marketing Officer, Marion De Guzman, and her team are here. Thank you so much. I'm wearing Jewelmer. It's Fred's Valentine's gift to me. My husband Fred is right here, front row. Ever supportive. Thank you so much, Fred, for being here. You know, I guess to Parrot Mitch, who would have thought, really, who would have thought that 30 years ago when we opened our first performance, it was called Ballet Manila Dances. It was a concert held in PCI Bank. This was on February 17 and 18, 1995. We were only 12 dancers in the company, 10 very young dancers, and myself and Osias Barroso as principal dancers. We were led by our first artistic director, the late Eric V. Cruz. And we were idealistic, maybe a bit naive, and at the same time very hopeful. And that hope, that idealism, has continued over the last 30 years to keep us true to our mission of bringing ballet to the people and more people to the ballet. And I only have one regret, really, is that my first artistic director, Eric V. Cruz, and my co-artistic director, Osias Barroso, is not here to be able to celebrate this occasion with us. It is an occasion there's very, very good reason to celebrate, and we thank you for joining us in this very happy occasion. Thank you.
50th anniversary. Shangri-La Plaza has been a home for the arts, a place where culture thrives and creativity flourishes. So over the years, we've also worked on enriching artistic experiences to our shoppers by celebrating music, film, fashion, and of course the performing arts. So last December, we were also honored to have hosted Ballet Manila's enchanting performance show, Snow White, as part of our Christmas festivities. And that was a very spectacular showcase of talent, grace, and storytelling, captivating all the audiences of all ages, making all their experience for the holiday season here in Shangri-La even more magical. So today we are bringing farther this partnership with Ballet Manila. So as we celebrate in time for the National Arts Month, there is no other better time to shine a spotlight on Ballet Manila's incredible 30-year journey. So one that is marked by passion, perseverance, and a steadfast commitment to excellence. So we all know and honor that Ballet Manila is not just a dance company. It is a movement that has elevated Philippine ballet to the world stage, nurtured countless dancers, and introduced classical and original Filipino productions to new generations. So at Shangri-La Plaza, we believe in creating spaces where art is not only showcased but truly celebrated. So this media launch is a testament to our shared vision of bringing inspiring performances closer to the public. So this is also an event that is going to be a testament to Shang's role as a premier hub for arts and culture, where audiences can immerse themselves in performances that touch the soul and ignite the imagination. So to Miss Lisa Macuja Elizalde and the entire Ballet Manila family, congratulations on this incredible milestone. We are truly honored to be part of this celebration, and we look forward to witnessing another season of breathtaking performances that will undoubtedly continue to inspire and uplift the audiences. So Shangri-La Plaza will always be a home for you, and we are excited for the many more stories that you will tell through dance. Thank you again for joining us today, and we hope that you enjoy this event.
We were planning and brainstorming on the repertoire to present for the Pearl Gala. It was, you know, when you're trying to choose from 30 years of repertoire, it's not easy. But I really zeroed in on Paquita. Why? Because Paquita was our first finale of Ballet Manila Dances when we performed our first concert 30 years ago. So I think it was just fitting that we would open the Pearl Gala with a performance of Paquita, not just because of its historical impact of the company, but because it is also a way to show off our very strong female corps de ballet, which Ballet Manila has been known for. And it is also a way to show off our principal dancers and our soloists in solo and group dances that is very classically influenced, and that is the forte of Ballet Manila. It is in our classical repertoire that is still our forte. So it was a no-brainer really to open with the ballet Paquita. For Bloom, kabaliktaran naman, it's a contemporary number that really showcases our male dancers. And Ballet Manila is actually in a very unusual situation wherein we have actually more male dancers in the company than female dancers, which is an unusual aspect of when you have a ballet company. And Bloom by Annabel Lopez Ochoa is actually an exported ballet of Ballet Manila to the whole world, because Annabel first choreographed it on Ballet Manila, and then she brought the ballet to different parts of Europe and the Americas, specifically Cincinnati Ballet, Los Angeles Ballet, among many other companies abroad. So Bloom has been performed abroad as well. And it showcases the contemporary style naman. Kasi nga we are classical, neoclassical, and contemporary, and Filipino. Very diverse. The world premiere of Pearls, that took a longer time to percolate. Why? Because at first I wanted to showcase one of Tito Eric's classical ballets, Carmen. But then I thought, you know, let's have something new, a world premiere. That's how we also show that Ballet Manila is moving forward, not just looking back at the past, but moving forward into the future. And Pearls It was loosely inspired by Balanchine's Jewels, but specifically it's about the pearl. And you know, in a ballet company, you have your corps de ballet, you have your soloists, you have your ballerinas, your principal dancers, your premier dancers, and all of these dancers are trained and are the product of many, many years of actual experience dancing different roles on stage. And what you see on stage is sort of like the finished product of all of these different layers of experience. And the pearl is just like that. It's a jewel that is created by many, many different layers. That's why it represents wisdom. It is like time creates these layers, and at the end results in this perfect jewel, this perfect, beautiful jewel. So every single dancer in Ballet Manila is a jewel, is a pearl. And so that basically inspired the ballet.
Yes, how beautiful.
And so really fitting to open our program, our short program this day, to feature a short excerpt from Pearls. Choreography is by myself and Martin Lawrence, and the music is to Giuseppe Verdi. Choice to include in the Pearl Year. Why? Because it is a ballet that the company does very, very well because of our Russian Vaganova training. And it is also a ballet that in the beginning we were too small to be able to dance, but we collaborated with different Russian ballet companies in order to perform it. So we collaborated with the Ulan-Ude State Ballet Company, the Krasnoyarsk State Ballet Company, until we grew as such that we were able to perform it on our own as Ballet Manila, and it is in a version choreographed by People's Artist of Russia, Sergei Vikulov, for the company. Swan Lake is also one of the most difficult ballets, especially for a company, because of the corps de ballet training, that you need at least 18 really strong ballerinas to make up your swan corps. It is also one of the most difficult to perform for a ballerina because it has the dual role of Odette, the white swan, which demands very lyrical, soft movement, as well as Odile, the black swan, which is very seductive and quite sharp and fierce. So I always called it a schizophrenic ballet to perform because you suffer from schizophrenia afterwards. Anyway, not many companies are able to perform Swan Lake, and I'm really proud that Ballet Manila is one of the Asian ballet companies that is able to perform Swan Lake.
Bravo, Lisa.
The Tang Innkeeper.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us more about Don Quixote.
Okay, Don Quixote, it's the last ballet, the full-length ballet that's going to close the Pearl season, the Pearl year. And it was really, again, a perfect choice because it is a signature ballet of Ballet Manila, because it was, Kitri was a signature role of mine when I was still dancing.
Yes.
And it is also the signature role of our guest prima ballerina from the Mariinsky Ballet, Renata Shakirova. Yes, she was with us in Giselle last year, and she's returning this time to dance Don Quixote with our very own principal dancer, Joshua Enciso, who is already preparing now to partner the prima ballerina of the Mariinsky Ballet.
Joshua.
Yes, Don Quixote, it's going to be a non-stop celebration.
It's a happy ballet.
It's a very happy ballet, and I think it's a very fitting way to end the Pearl Year season because it is a happy celebration.
Yes.
To partner with you as we bring more people to the ballet. Ballet Manila is very proud to have lasted 30 years. Ballet Manila, The Pearl Year is opening with the Pearl Gala on March 7, 8, and 9, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.